He's a bard. I don't know how many times I've had to say it, but I guess it's good to be right. He's got the charisma, he's got performance, he's got his musical instruments, he's got prestidigitation. I mean, what else you need? Bardic inspiration and cutting words? I'm just saying, I was right the whole time. Now that I got that off my chest, welcome to Unlimited Story, a channel dedicated to writing, world building, marketing, and most importantly, getting things done. I'm Mark, and in this episode, I'm going to be going over episode number 3 of Loki. So if that's why you're here, and not to just hear me say I'm right all the time, well, sit tight and we'll do that. And welcome back. So I'm just going to get started right out of the gate and say, what episode did I watch? Number 3. What are my initial thoughts? I didn't think a whole lot happened for what was actually required out of the episode, which was essentially to bond the two characters. I wasn't overly impressed. I was more interested in how they did it, which was kind of unique, but I didn't really feel like it was, I just didn't feel like the setting was terribly a good choice. I thought that they could have done a lot more or created a different setting that would have achieved the same things, potentially better. It would have made the whole, episode a lot cleaner and provided more options for them to interact. But at the same time, they were put in a situation where they were forced to work together, and they were able to get some backstory, plot, action kind of thing happening. So overall, it was okay. What was my favorite part? And believe it or not, I can't really say I had one. There was nothing that really happened in the episode. I was like, yes, this is so great. There were some parts where I was like, oh, okay, cool. So if I had to pick, it was the part where Loki and Sylia were getting on the train. They actually had to use their powers, not really combine them, but use them in tandem with each other to get on the train, which was, I don't know. So I thought that was nice. Is there anything unclear or confusing? Oh, hey, look at that energy blast. It was on the previews all this time, so I was like, oh, hey, an energy blast is coming. And there it was. For no reason at all. No explanation. So apparently he's had it the whole time. He doesn't even say anything like, oh, that's weird. Maybe I had this, blah, blah. No. Maybe I was hoping that they would explain these powers away by saying, oh, well, when two variants are next to each other, they can get more power or something like that. But nope, he's just like, I did it. He just did it. He just did it. Okay, all right. And also another thing as far as his powers, how is it that he can put something in his little pocket dimension or whatever and it breaks? Unless he actually put that little pad in his pocket, which doesn't make any sense. I thought that was the point of these dimensions, that things would just follow him wherever he goes and he just pulls it out. But all right, well, guess that's not going to get explained either. Oh well. What are my thoughts on the main character? Why is everyone better than him? It just seems to be that way. He's lying and everyone expects him of lying, okay? He fights people and he always loses. Okay? I don't get it. And it's been this way in the movies too. Before he was an antagonist, he just got cleaned up all the time. Now he's the protagonist and he's still just getting absolutely crushed. Even Sylia is beating him, and again, Sylia used a normal human and somehow it just cleaned our protagonist Loki up. So I am constantly baffled why he is not allowed a single win. We are 3 episodes in, which my understanding is this is a 6-episode series. So halfway through, and he has yet to really pull off a big win. His win was reading some books and figuring out where this other Loki was. And that's really it. Also, I just want to say, it seems like there's some type of love plot being created between Loki and Sylia, which I guess is a possibility. It seems really strange. If any character in the MCU really loves himself, it's definitely Loki. It's just this is really reaching into some weird territory. It's just odd. It's super odd. What are my thoughts on the other characters? Well, the only one that really even exists in this episode besides Loki is Sylia. And, she's fine. We got some backstory, so she seems a little bit interesting. I don't really know what to say beyond that, because actually we spent a lot of the time spending more time on Loki than really on her. So, I don't know. I guess she's fine. I'm pretty confident we'll be finding out more about her in episode 4. Is there anything else I would have liked to seen from this episode? Yeah, some forward movement of the plot. I mean, really, I just felt like this whole thing was at a standstill. Again, I didn't feel like a whole ton was achieved throughout this episode. Yes, I get that the point of this episode was to make them work together and to get some backstory and so on, but I didn't feel like it required, I think this episode was 48 minutes. I didn't think it took 48 minutes. They could have created a different situation that would have been more, I don't know, more gooder, if I wanted to say it. I just didn't think for an entire episode this was a good utilization of time. So yeah, I mean, again, they got to do a little bit of character backstory, got a little bit of interaction, got to see them in a little bit of a lighthearted setting, sort of. But again, I wasn't happy. You know, for example, I wasn't happy just generally with Loki. You know, he goes out, gets tanked, which doesn't make any sense with his character. Specifically because he cares about his life. So yes, he probably hasn't had a drink for a while, but still, like, hey, maybe I should not just be frolicking and blowing our cover. So there was just a lot of confusion to me about the setting and why the choices that Marvel made were made. What do I expect to happen next? Well, I don't know the specific order of this, but I will say they're definitely gonna get off this exploding moon rock. They're definitely gonna get caught by the TVA. Mobius is definitely going to like figure out or hear from them that he's a variant and will help them escape, or something's gonna happen where he's like, oh hey, maybe they're onto something and they aren't just lying all the time. They're also in the previews, which kind of ruin these kinds of predictions for me, show Sylvia's like little mini version of herself. But I do expect them to run into something that's going to throw them for a curveball, and I think it's going to be like another version of Loki, maybe like an older one who's maybe evil or something. I think that'd be really cool. And by the end of it, my understanding is that Loki was going to be put in like a really tough spot, and he's going to have to be like, oh, he's going to have to make some big decisions, and he doesn't trust anybody. I mean, why would he? He's not known for trusting people, and people aren't known for trusting him. So those are my big expectations. How much did I enjoy this episode? 3. Definitely a 3. I just spent most of the episode being more frustrated and annoyed. It kept going, and I was just like, all right, is this getting somewhere? And when the credits rolled, I was like, that was it. I mean, like the very end of the episode, I just saw him just dodging stuff, trying to not die, and I just didn't know why they had to spend so much time there. I felt at a loss. And then as far as how much I really am excited about the next episode, definitely a 6. The only reason I'm going to give it a 6, like giving it a few extra points, is because in an interview, Tom Hiddleston said that episode 4 was like his big one. Like he was really excited, and it leads me to believe that there's going to be something really big revealed in this episode number 4 that is going to take me and just blow my mind, and I'm going to be pumped, and hopefully be pumped for the rest of the season, because right now it's just following this series where it's like first episode's kind of okay. The next episode's great, and then so it's just ups and downs between a lot of exposition and just chilling to great action, which is what I've been hoping for. So if they could split that up, that'd be a lot better instead of splitting them up over episodes. But as of right now, episode 4 I'm excited for, but episode 3 didn't set up that expectation. Is there anything else I want to add? Yeah, if the TVA are all variants, why are they all, human? Is this like a budget thing for Disney Marvel? They seem to have money for everything else, but for some reason all the TVA are human, or is there... There's got to be a reason. I'm hoping there's a reason. I mean, so far this entire series has been very good at avoiding giving me reasons for anything, so I'll just hope that a reason appears. Alright, that's it for this episode. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already, consider subscribing, or at least watching another one of my videos that YouTube recommends. Peace!